So Rocket League has just released its biggest and probably most anticipated update yet. There's a lot of information in this one, so I thought I'd showcase and discuss all of it with you guys today. We're going to be taking a look at Rocket Pass 5. We've got the new blueprint system which replaces crates. We've got the brand new item shop. We've also got the season 12 rewards. And then there's some smaller miscellaneous additions with 3 free DLC packs, the archive system, as well as some changes to trade-ups. We're then going to start by taking a look at Rocket Pass 5. The very first item is the Chikara battle car, and in the previous video you guys told me that Chikara means power. I think it looks pretty cool here in game, very reminiscent of the samurai. And I think what's quite interesting is these little side panels seem to change color based on where you're looking at. Don't know if this will be noticeable in game, but I do think it looks pretty cool. At tier 2 we have the breakneck banner, and we've also got a free item called Tea Time. I think this is going to be a great addition if you're looking to make a golf based car theme. At tier 3 we have the Shining Barrage boost, the first version. I think the detailing in the back is not so strong, but I really love how it looks when it comes out of the boosts, and it's also got a really cool sound to it. At tier 4 we have a 10% party XP boost, as well as the Tranquility banner in the free section. Tier 5 sees the bike rack, probably the biggest topper in the game. Tier 6 has the Yokai trail, probably the loudest trail in terms of aesthetics, and I think it's super cool for that reason. We also got another free item called the Drift Queen, and that one's a title. Tier 7 has the Manduro wheels. First thought these were a Japanese lunchbox, but they're actually like an engine system. Not a big fan of the centerpiece, but I do think the treads look quite cool. At tier 8 we have the Corsa Q antenna. I found this one a bit of a strange addition because when I googled it, this is a European weapon, so I think it's a bit weird having this in a Japanese Rocket Pass. In the free section we got a breakout decal which I think looks really cool. That's the breakout lichen, and I think this might pair very nicely with something like some Lobo wheels for a wolf theme. At tier number 9 we have the Dominus Moonrocker decal. Seems to have a set orange paint finish to it, and I think it looks pretty decent. Maybe you can make some cool designs using it. At tier 10 we have a 5% XP boost and another banner called K's. Tier 11 has a bit of a funny item with the floppy fish. This one actually creeps me out a bit, and I think it's got a bit of a strange sound, but I do think it is pretty cool. At tier 12 you're going to get 100 credits, and like I mentioned in the previous video, you can unlock up to 1,000, so you can essentially pay off the Rocket Pass for free if you play long enough. We've also got a cute little crabby topper, and we've got some reticle wheels. Interesting design. It's got a little bit of a pulsing animation, and I would say it reminds me quite a lot of the cherry blossoms you'll see in Japan. At tier 14 we've got another breakout decal. Breakout's getting quite a lot of love. This one's the Prowler, and it's got a bit of a more subtle look to it. In the free section you got the Naginata. Now that one is a Japanese based weapon, so I do think it fits better in this Rocket Pass. Tier 15 has the Pother engine sound. Sounds like an animated superhero car, so I think it fits in great. At 16 we've got a banner. Looks quite a lot like Neo Tokyo. And you've also got the fantastic title. 17 we've got the Splatter Grid. Kind of like a mix-up of splatter decals with maybe a trigon. So I think wherever you use the trigon this might fit in terms of a design. Tier 18 has the animated title, as well as another breakout decal. This one for the Type S. A lot of clean lines, and I think it looks super cool. Tier 19 has the second level of the Shining Barrage boost. Picks it up a notch, a lot more crazy, and I'm also a big fan of this one. At 20 we have the Shima wheels. These to me look a bit strange, not really a fan. They also come in a special edition version, but I also don't think those are going to save them. We've also got a free item with the kitten cup, and that one's super cute. 21 has the Patchwork limited decal. Not animated like most of the other Universal decals, but I still think it looks solid and might be fun to play with. We've got our first Octane decal with the Boom and Pow. Think it fits great in a cartoony feel. Could say it's maybe anime inspired, and I do think it's quite fun. 23 has a 5% XP boost, and at 24 we've got 100 credits, as well as the Hibiscus banner. 25 we have Mr. Tube Man, very funny looking guy. In South Africa you often see these next to car dealerships, and I think he's really funny as an antenna. Then for the wheels we have Demonics. The regular versions I think look great, very simple looking design, but still looks very cool. This version reminds me a little of Patriarch wheels, whereas when we take a look at the special edition, we've got a very grip stride feel with the strong black and the pops of color. 27 sees a nice and simple decal for the distro called the Two-Tone. You've also got a title called the Juggler. Heading over to 28 we have the Civet, with a bit of a strange engine sound, a lot of cat-based sounds to it, and I think it might drive some people crazy when you use this in game. At 29 we've got our second taxi top in the game. 30 sees another title called the Speed Chaser, as well as a simple flat cap. At 31 we've got the super cool Power Surge player banner, and this one is actually animated, which is really cool. We then have a 5% XP boost and the Starscape animated decal at 33. Cool animation, nice little glimmer to it. And in the free section we've got the Twinzer Quick Fix. 34 sees the Chikari G1, the upgraded version. The signature edition is definitely going to be the spoiler, and then there's some little accents to make the car stand out. At 35 we've got some cool looking green wheels called the Tube Tanks, has a fish in the centerpiece, and I think this could be cool in a crazy scientist design. We then have 100 credits and another banner called the Valorous. At 37 we've got a nice and simple decal for the Chikara. We then have Blabberwocky, which is an avatar border. We've got another 5% XP boost at tier 39, and since tea is so prominent in Japan, we've got a tea kettle topper. At 40 we have the Committed title, and at 41 we've got the stamped metal paint finish. At 42 we have the Kablooey Gold Explosion. I wouldn't say it's a new and crazy design, but I do think it's super solid and still looks pretty cool. Got another animated banner, same sort of lightning theme to it, and I must say I'm impressed with most of the banners they're adding so far. Psyonix loves to put out watermelon items, and we're now getting the breakout watermelon decal. At 44 we've got the Morrow Hatch wheels, no special edition for these, I'm quite surprised. Very unique, interesting, avant-garde design, so I think it's going to be love it or hate it. Got 10,000 XP at tier 45, and at 46 we've got another Chikara decal called the Soft Edge, which blends in your primary and secondary colors. At 47 we've got the Ostomiko engine sound, and it's got some crazy racing sounds to it. You've also got the Chip Champ player title at tier 47. Then got another 100 credits. And at 49 you got the Shot Ninja title. Tier 50 has 5% XP boost, and 51 has the Metallograph paint finish. At 52 we've got the Nox animated decal in this blue and black coloring. Kinda looks like these are a swarm of insects, whereas when we look at this yellow and grey, looks a bit more like explosions, so I think you can make some cool designs using this one. We then got some Shinkai wheels coming out from the free section. Interesting design to them, and I think they'll be fun to play with. At 53 we've got the Vaporstream Limited Trail. Gonna be great in any design where you're blending green as well as some grey. We've got the Stratus wheels in the game. There are a pair of wheels that I can't remember the name of, but they do look very similar to these. And unfortunately there's no special edition to the Stratus wheels. And at 55 we have probably my favorite animated decal called the Efflux. It's got a bit of a watery, flowy theme to it, a bit similar to the Leviathan decal, but I think there are enough changes to make it stand out. 56 is the Corsa Q, but the leveled up version with a bit of animation added to it. We've then got 2 titles, the Soccer Senpai and the OG Player. At 58, we've got another XP boost, and at 59, we've got the Yankee RL wheels. Not a fan of the centerpiece, however, I'm a big fan of those animated treads. These do come in a special edition version. I would say they're very similar to the DRN wheels or the Infiniums, where they seem to go on infinitely, but still, it's not the centerpiece that wins it for me, it's these cool animated treads. At 60, we've got 100 credits, and at 61, we've got the Huntress decal for the Octane. We have seen this before on the Artemis. Decal looks a bit similar to the Labyrinth, and I think it looks fantastic, and it's definitely one of my favorites. At 62, we've got a sort of green watery theme with the Radiant Gush rocket boost. 63 has the swerved player banner. Definitely thought we'd get a special edition version of the Holospheres, but it seems like that's not the case, and these are the only versions we're going to get. We've got the Cupid boost, very similar to the Hearts boost in the game. This one does add in some arrows that Cupid's shooting out, and it also adds it to the sound effect. At 65, we've got the Luster Edge animated decal. Now the Luster was recently added into the game as a reward for Twitch Prime, so I think it does take away from how cool that decal is by adding a very similar one to the Rocket Pass 5. 66 has an XP boost, and 67 has 100 credits. At 68, we've got the Meta Blast Gold Explosion. This is going to be one of my favorite items in the Rocket Pass. Amazing animation to it, and it sounds really good. At 69, we've got another pair of wheels that I was very hyped for, and those on the Helicorpians. I think they do look great in game, and I think I love these more than the average person would, but unfortunately there's no special edition version for these. And at tier 70, we've got the final version of the Chikara, the GXT. There's a little bit of animation on the body, which is cool, and some extra detailing added to it as well. The final item to take a look at is going to be the Germophile animated decal. This is another decal I'm impressed with, and I think it's going to be fun to play around with. Now onto the blueprint system. You're going to see this nice informative screen when you log into Rocket League, and it's going to be explaining some of the changes made. There's a brand new blueprint tab, and I must say the blueprints do look very nice. You'll see later on when I open some that once it shows the item on the blueprints, it is quite a cool looking system. I decided to open a few of these, and the first item I got was a Dominus decal. Now in the previous key system, if we think of it in terms of credits, this Caliente would probably go for around 10 credits, max about 25. However, in order to make this decal, you're going to have to pay 100 credits. And that is a bit steep, but unfortunately the worst is yet to come. When I opened my third blueprint, I was lucky enough to get a Hexed. I was pretty chuffed with myself on that one until I saw the price. Now this Hex costs 2,000 credits to craft, whereas in the previous key system, it went for around 3 to 5, so around 300 to 500 credits. That's a crazy price hike, possibly more than 4 times, so it's quite disappointing to see. Kept opening some more items, got myself a very rare with the Septum wheels. Those typically would go for around 25 credits, maybe 50 max. However, Psionics is asking for 500. Kept opening up, got a furry paint finish. It should be the same sort of price as the Septum wheels, 25 to 50 credits, but Psionics is asking for 600. Now probably the worst offense came when I opened up the Kalos wheels. These are just unpainted exotics, and Psionics is charging 1,400 credits to craft these. Normal price in the days of keys would probably be around 50 credits. Now I'm very disappointed with the numbers that Psionics decided to go with, and I'm definitely not alone on this one. There's been a lot of negativity on the subreddits, as well as the official Rocket League Discord server. What I expect in the next few days is Psionics to take notes of this, and hopefully they decide to tweak the numbers. But let us move on to the item shop. Now you'll see similarities here to both the esports shop as well as the blueprint system. I do quite like the aesthetic of the item shop. It's quite nice when you're viewing your items, but once again, I think they went too high on the prices they're charging. Before this update came out, I did look at the price of the Crimson Fennec and it went for around 10 to 14 keys. So I think the price they're asking for here, 1,200 credits, is pretty acceptable. However, when you take a look at the Infinium wheels, they're asking for 1,400 credits yet again, and that's far too high when the typical price should be around 50 to 100. All the other items are kinda expensive too. I'd expect a Xeno Splash boost to go for around 50 credits. Merc Athena is probably one of the least popular decals in the game, so I'm surprised that's going for more than 25. And it's the same sort of deal with the Nipper wheels. I think they're 10 times more expensive than they should be. But let's move on to something I'm actually very happy with, and that's the Season 12 rewards. We're starting off with the bronze one, which is one of my least favorites, but that's not too surprising when it's coming out from bronze. Taking a look at the silver one, I think it's actually fantastic, and I think it's going to be very popular because you can play around with those neutral colors. And alongside bronze, the gold one I'm not a big fan of. I usually do love gold cars, but I think the coloring is not that great here. However, when we move on to platinum, I'm pretty much loving the rest. You've got a lot of cool blues to play with in this one, and they're adding in some extra animation to make the decal stand out. I'm a huge fan of the diamond one. Think the coloring's great. You've got light blue, you've got dark blue, you've got black. A lot of colors to make a great design. Same story when we hit champion. There's sort of the light pink, there's some dark purple, and there's some white to make a nice combo. The final one is Grand Champion with a red design, and once again I think the colors are very strong with this one. So besides bronze and gold, which to be fair are the weaker ranks, I pretty much love every other decal, so I think Psyonix did a great job with these rewards. So you might have seen some new items in your inventory, and that's because 3 new DLC packs were added to the base version of the game. That's the Supersonic Fury, Revenge of the Battle Cars, and Chaos Run DLCs. We've also had some changes to the trade-up system, so you're only going to be able to trade up items that you've received free from the game. And the final thing I wanted to take a look at is the new archive system. Over here you can see me using them to hide a pair of Cobalt Almus wheels. They are then hidden from your main inventory and they're sent to an archive tab. You can then easily unarchive them and send them back to your normal inventory. But that is gonna be a wrap for today's news video. I'd love for you guys to let me know in the comments what you thought about this one. Are you like me and you're very unhappy with the blueprint and item shop prices? Also, what do you think of Rocket Pass 5? Did it meet your expectations? And finally, if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Well, that's all from me guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.